Hi guys. So I am currently recording on my desktop so you guys can see how to do Screencastify. So Screencastify is a super really user-friendly, really easy way to get your kind of your videos for your classes, your lectures together. It's really versatile. There's a bunch of different options on how to make sure that your video looks really good and concise, but you're also able to communicate with your students visually. So I'm just going to show you guys how to get it onto your computer, and then I'll show you guys kind of all the options of what you can do with Screencastify. So to get Screencastify on your computer, you guys go to screencastify.com. And once you enter that into the web browser, it should bring you to what you guys currently see on the screen. And that's the cool thing about Screencastify, is that whatever's on your screen, your students can see, which will be seen in the video. So I like to have everything kind of set up the way I want to be visually represented. And maybe it'll be like a presentation, or maybe I'm showing them how to write something. So I'll make sure I have all of the tabs that I need to open. I should close this. And that'll be the web browser that I show everyone. So Screencastify, as you guys can see on their front page, kind of has visually of what it is. Normally there's a little button right here. My Screencastify is already downloaded. On your guys' page, if you don't have it downloaded, it would say something like download for Chrome or download Screencastify for Chrome. And you would click on that. Once you click on that, it'll bring you to a new page. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you guys because it's already downloaded on my computer. But normally, for those who don't have it downloaded, it would have two columns here. One of them will say something like free Screencastify option. But with that option, you only get 5 minutes for a video, which I've learned is just not enough. So there's also an option to buy for $49 a year. You can invest in Screencastify, but as teachers, we always are looking for a sweet deal. There's actually a big red button at the top right here on this other page that says something like get educational deals. And there's a middle option. They'll bring you to a new page that says $29 a year. And you can invest in that one. And then, like James said, you can expense it to Loyola and they'll pay you back. So that's what I did. So once you've entered in your debit card information, once you've downloaded it, if you choose to get the unlimited video option, it'll say download for Chrome. And it will automatically download the extension to your dashboard up here on your web browser. And the icon looks like this. So it actually looks like I have the pointer right here. It looks like that in your dashboard, but mine has a 1 because I'm currently uploading a video, a recording. So that's why mine looks a little bit different, but yours would essentially look like that. So that, a box will show up. Now, my box says that your desktop is being recorded, and so it looks a little bit different. But for you guys, the box would look something like this. Let me pull it up. This would normally be right here. If I was to click on that and this was your guys' desktop. So this is a screenshot that I took of what it looks like before you start recording. So there's a few different options. You can just do a webcam only. So if you just want to pre-record yourself talking, or maybe you're more of a board person. I know Mr. Harrison, he does his videos in front of a board and does I don't know, whatever chemistry teachers do up on a board, different equations and whatnot. Or maybe you want to have a map behind you so you can show different battles, whatever. That's an option. There's also a browser tab, which is a little bit different. That's where you just have it in the corner, and it's just kind of viewing what's on your screen without the webcam. And then you have the desktop, which is actually showing everything on your desktop. So everything here, everything on the desktop, this video of me is being seen by the students. So you just choose what type of webcam you want, or how you want to interact with your students through the Screencastify. Then the other two things that you would do is the microphone and then the embed webcam. So some of you guys might not want your students to see you, which I totally get, because sometimes it's just kind of awkward and you feel really vulnerable. So you can click this off, and then it would just be you talking in terms of audio over whatever is on your screen. Or maybe you don't want to have any audio from you, and maybe you want to just present your presentation or maybe your PowerPoint with like music in the background. Maybe that's your thing. You want to get really artistic with it. That's also an option. So you can click both of these off or on depending on what your teaching style is. This show more options, if you do click on it, it asks you whether or not you want to have like all this stuff down here. You can like write stuff on your desktop, which is pretty cool. And then you can erase it. So there's that. So if you don't want those things, under show more options, there's an option to turn all of this off. And then there's also an option of how long you want the countdown to be before it starts recording. So there's an option for 3, which is the one I choose, 5 or 10 seconds. So you just choose how much time you need to, I don't know, emotionally prep yourself before you start recording. So that's what that looks like. And then once you're ready, you click record. And then it starts recording. It counts you down from 3, 2, 1, and then it is showing your screen, and it is showing you if you chose the embed webcam option. And then anything on the screen is being recorded. So how I usually do it is I have something like a PowerPoint. Let me pull up an actual PowerPoint. Wow, okay. Do I not have any PowerPoints? Here we go. That's a PowerPoint. So usually what I do is like I have a PowerPoint, I open it up, I go, hey students, up, and then I start going. And I usually will also post these on Canvas. So like if I have any speaker notes or what have you, the students can have access to it. But essentially you're just here with the PowerPoint and you're in the bottom corner. They can see you. Maybe you don't want to be in the bottom corner and you just want to have them see the presentation. But everything that you say will be recorded, and then anything visually will be recorded, just like a regular PowerPoint would be in class. All right? When you're done recording and you've done everything that you need to do, you just go down here and you click stop sharing. Stop sharing. And if you don't want this on the screen, by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, you can always click hide. So once you click stop sharing, it'll automatically open up a new, I don't want to click it now because then the recording will stop. But once you click it, a new tab will open and it'll look something like this. This is just a screenshot. I don't want to cover myself completely, but here's a screenshot of what it takes you to. So it'll automatically stop and it'll automatically open up a new tab. And it'll look something like this, okay? And it'll start to download, okay? So it needs a second to get its life together, and it'll start to download. But while it's doing that, you can do a couple of things. You can change the title. This option right here is actually, now maybe I can show you a real recording. Oh yeah, look. So here it is actually on my actual in real time Screencastify account. But you can like change the title. So this right now is like a recording I took like last year, but you can change it to, the dynasties. Maybe I just want to be a little specific. Normally it'll just have the date. So it'll say something like March, 16th, and then it'll have like the time. You don't really want that because then it's confusing for the students. So you can change it to something like that. Okay, so while it's downloading and it's getting its life together, you can take a look at some of the options here on the right-hand side. So you can get an embedded code of your video that you can embed on Canvas. You can share it to Classroom, doesn't matter because we don't use Google Classroom. You can click Publish to YouTube, which I always click. And the reason I do that is because I want it in 2 places. I want the option for it to be on YouTube, and I want the option for it to be on Google Drive. Because if I do both places, then I'm able to make sure that students always have an option to watch it, because sometimes Canvas doesn't work for a kid at home, and so they can't watch the Google Drive version. So that way they can at least, download YouTube on their iPhones and watch it on the bus on the way to school. So I always publish it in 2 places. You can send it to a specific student. Maybe there's a student who's having a hard time with writing, and you just want to make a video just for them, you can always email it to like a specific student. And you can also generate a QR code that you can post on assignments, you can post on posters, you can post on Canvas, and kids can just use their phones to scan it, and then they can just go immediately to the video. You can also just download it onto your computer. That's always a great option. And once you download it, you can always upload it anywhere. And then you can also export an animated GIF. So if you take like a silly, sometimes I do this, like if there's a silly point in the video, I will like make a GIF and I will use that as like the like marketing for them to watch the video. Like I'll post the GIF onto Canvas, but that's like, if you just want to be a little silly. So I'm always I'm always down for the silly. Okay, so there's Screencastify. Once you have the video, you have it forever. And I do want to show you guys the recordings page so you can see what that looks like. Again, if you're posting it on YouTube and you're posting it to Google Drive, they will always be there. But sometimes it's just your straight to my recordings page, and that way you can just kind of see where you're at in terms of what you have categorically. Like sometimes I know in like a AP World History meeting, somebody will be like, oh, I really wish I had a recording on East Asia, I don't know, in the post-classical era. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a video for that. Let me just go find it. And it's a little bit easier sometimes to find it on my recordings page rather than on my Google Drive or on YouTube. Sometimes that takes a little bit longer. So you always have that. The other thing I want to go over before I end this recording, because I know I've probably gone a little bit too long, is that if you ever don't like what you recorded, but you don't want to go back and go over all of it again, you can always just edit it. So the editing feature on Screencastify is incredibly easy. It's very user-friendly. You just have to play around with it. There's really only like 3 options to edit your video. So this isn't high quality. This isn't like you're spending hours and hours. It's just like record a lecture. Maybe you said something that was historically inaccurate. Maybe you wanted to add something a little bit extra. Maybe your dog was barking in the background and you don't want the dog barking in the background. That happens to me all the time. Then you can always just go in here and edit. And there's really like 3 options. You can cut something out. You can crop any of your video. And then you can even add text. So like say there's something that you wanted to add and you forgot to say it. You can always just click on the recording and just add a text and add text. And it looks like this, like, hey guys, I meant to mention, and then you can just like add it onto the actual screen and your students should be able to see it. It'll record. Once you're done like editing and adding things, you just like download it or save it to Google Drive. And then again, this new tab will open up and there's the option to get the shareable link or embed or publish to YouTube, and you can do all of that over again. I know there's a lot of information. I know there's a lot of information being thrown at you in general. So if you have any questions about Screencastify, just let me know. I can always sit down with you on Google Hangouts or on Big Blue Button and we can do it together, or you guys can just email me about this video if you have any questions. So I hope this is really helpful. Stay healthy, and I hopefully see you guys all sooner rather than later. All right, bye.